book up wide and meet adventures that wait for you. Live and learn and laugh and play whenever your dream comes true. You could swim along the river all the way to the sea. You could fly up in the sky above the clouds and trees. You could plant a flower garden up on top of the moon. You could swing through the jungle all afternoon. Wherever our story takes us, I can't wait to see. Yes, friends, come and read with me. It's online story time.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Online Storytime at your Grand Rapids Area Library. I'm Miss Tracy.
I'm Grandma Pat.
And we are so excited to have you with us today. Hey Grandma Pat, before we start talking about that really fun thing we're going to talk about today, do you want to sing?
Sure, let's sing.
Storytime friends, would you sing with us? Remember, the song says clap your hands, but what can you clap? That's right, whatever you want to. Here we go. If you want to hear a story, clap your hands. If you want to hear a story, clap your hands. If you want to hear a story, if you want to hear a story, if you want to hear a story, clap your hands. And I do want to hear a story today. Grandma Pat, what do you want to talk about today?
Look at all this. What does that remind you of?
Storytime friends, if you can't see that from where you're sitting, because sometimes it looks really far away, we have lots of animals on this sheet. We have a dog, and a lizard, and a bunny, and a mouse, and a snake, and a cat, and a pig, and a turtle, and a parrot, and a fish, and another cat, and a fish outside of the bowl. Wow. And a toucan, and a parakeet, and a gerbil, and a snake, a spider, and a snail. Wow, that's a lot of animals. But there's one thing those animals have in common. Do you know what that is, Grandma Pat?
Well, when I used to have a pet. That was a cat and a dog. And we had bunnies that ran around the farm, and we had pigs, and of course there were turtles. I wonder if some of those or all of them could be pets.
I think all of those animals have been pets at one time or another, including spiders.
Yeah.
I know people who keep pet spiders, and they're very excited about their tarantulas.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you like about a whole bunch of pets, Grandma Pat?
Oh, they're all so different. So different. Like this one slithers, this one flies, this guy can run and bark. Pig can't bark, but a pig can run. A pig can get out of anywhere, you know. Those pig pens have got to be very good because those pigs know how to get out. We used to have to chase pigs to get them back in, but you know the funny thing about our pigs, and I think most pigs are like that, when you start chasing them, they're pretty smart. They will go back in the same place they came out.
Wow.
So you always know where the break in the fence was.
That's great.
Yeah, it was pretty fabulous.
So Grandma Pat, do you have any good books about lots of pets?
I have books about lots and lots of pets.
Miss Tracy, we have a book about a man who didn't like animals.
Wow.
Can you imagine that?
I suppose there are people who don't like animals.
Yeah. It's written by Deborah Underwood, and the pictures are by Lewin Pham. And it's brought to us by HarperCollins. If you ever look at these pages in the front, they show a lot about the book, and you'll see this guy. He's looking back at an animal that he doesn't like. He's looking at a horse that he doesn't like. He's ignoring two dogs, and dogs having fun. Oh, we have to find out about this guy, don't we? The man who didn't like animals. There once was a man who loved his tidy home and who didn't like animals. One day, a cat appeared Meow. Does he look happy? I don't think so. I don't like cats, said the man. Go away. But the cat didn't. The man liked sleeping in the sun, and so did the cat. The man liked watching the rain, so did the cat. The man liked to eat dinner at precisely 6 p.m., so did the cat. Said the man. Maybe this cat isn't so bad. The neighbors with their pets. He's got some sort of an iguana or a lizard. She's got a puppy. She's got a bird. Okay, neighbors. Then another cat appeared. Go away, said the man. I don't like meow. Oop, he's going in the house. There he is. One day, a dog appeared. I don't like dogs, said the man. Go away. But the dog didn't. The man liked watching the sunrise, and so did the dog. The man liked gardening, so did the dog. The man liked taking walks, so did the dog. Said the man. Maybe this dog isn't so bad. So he's got 2 cats and a dog now. There's his neighbors looking at him. Then another dog appeared. Go away, said the man. I don't. And there's the dog. We have Isabel, Ivan, Emily, and Eli. They have names. Next came a duck and more ducks and a chicken and more chickens. What is going on here? And a goat. Climb the ladder to get there. And more goats. And a pig. And more pigs. And a cow. And more cows. And finally, what do you think is going to happen? Some cranky neighbors. You must get rid of those animals, said one. This is not a farm, said another. I thought you didn't like animals, said another. That is one full house. Look at all of that. Pigs playing Scrabble. The man had thought so too. He called a meeting and the animals gathered round. I'm sorry, but you'll have to go. The animals filed slowly out the door, one by one. They looked so sad. As they grew smaller, the man's heart broke right in two. Wait, he called. Aww. What do you think he's gonna do? Do you have any ideas? The man loved his tidy home. Looks like he's packing up his books and he's cleaning his house and he's giving plants to his neighbors. But he loved animals more. And that's how it all began. Old MacDonald's farm. E-I-E-I-O. Did you know that? That he didn't like animals?
Hey, Storytime friends, Grandma Pat,
Yeah.
are you ready to do a flannel board?
Yes.
Storytime friends, it's flannel time. Oh yeah, it's flannel time. That's right. But you notice there's nothing on the flannel board, so we had better take care of that. But I need your help today. We're gonna build this flannel board together. And we're going to build it using our knowledge of rhyming words. You remember what a rhyming word is? Has different beginning sounds, but the same ending sounds. So like the word fun and run and sun all rhyme. Okay, we're gonna use that and figure out what kind of animals we're gonna get from the pet store. All right, here's our first one we have to figure out. It says, I went to the pet store and made a special wish. The pet that I wanted was a very special. I want you to think of a pet that rhymes with the word wish. I went to the pet store and made a very special wish. The pet that I wanted was a very special fish. That's right. Wish and fish are rhyming words. And there is our very special fish with all the colorful dots. Ready for another one? All right, here we go. I went to the pet store. I went there at a jog to get a pet with a wagging tail. It was a little, what's our rhyming word there? Yep, we want to rhyme with the word jog. I went to the pet store. I went there at a jog to get a pet with a wagging tail. It was a little, it was a little dog. Look at him. So now we have a pet fish and we have a pet dog. Can we figure out another one? Storytime friends, you are very good at figuring out these clues. Here we go. I went to the pet store. By now, it had become a habit. The pet I wanted was a soft, fluffy, I think you're right. I went to the pet store. By now, it had become a habit. The pet that I wanted was a soft, fluffy, boing, 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 rabbit! Did you hear how the word habit and rabbit were rhyming words? Okay, do you think we can do two more? Let's try. I went to the pet store. I know that sounds absurd. Absurd. Absurd means kind of crazy. I went to the pet store. I know that sounds absurd. But the pet that I wanted was a colorful, flying. Yes, I went to the pet store. I know that sounds absurd. But the pet that I wanted was a colorful, flying bird. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So now we have a pet fish, a pet dog, a pet rabbit, and a pet bird. What else do you think we'd get? We're going to get one more pet. I went to the pet store. It was no mistake. What I really wanted now was a hissing green. That's right. I went to the pet store. It was no mistake. The pet that I wanted now was a hissing green snake. And there it is. Storytime friends, you were fabulous at that detective game. You figured out the rhymes for fish, dog, rabbit, bird, and snake. But I think we have enough pets now. I don't know how we're going to take care of them all, but we'll do our best. Hey, thanks for playing.
Oh, here's an animal book called The Welcome Home. Look at all of those animals.
So many pets.
I wonder what that's all about. The Welcome Home, Amy June Bates. She wrote and drew the pictures. This is from Simon & Schuster for young readers. Mr. and Mrs. Gargleson Biddle were missing something. They tried eating waffles, but that only helped for a moment. Mr. Gargleson wanted something soft to cheer him up. Ms. Biddle wanted something waggy to cheer her up. They both wanted something a little bit lick your face, play fetch, roll over, rub its belly, and chase its tail. Is that describing something? So they decided to get a snail. There it is. The snail was soft. How nice, they cooed. The snail was slow and a little slimy. They admired as they watched it make its way across the table. There they are. A long time to get across that table. They loved their little snail friend and named him Gordon. But they thought they might also like something more waggy, maybe? So they decided to get an elephant. They named her Louise. Louise's trunk definitely wagged back and forth. How splendid, they said as they watched Gordon and Louise awkwardly play together. They loved Louise and Gordon, but they thought their home might also need something a little less, or perhaps something a little more, lick your face, perhaps. So they got an aardvark named Sam and a whale named Eugene. The whale and the snail fell in love immediately. Sam, the aardvark, was a bit of a loner, but he loved the Gargleson Biddles and could lick their faces from all the way across the pool. Delightful, said Mr. and Mrs. Gargleson Biddle. Uh-oh, she's gonna cannonball. What do you think's gonna happen to the water? Ooh. However, they did wonder a little what it would be like to play fetch. So they got a cat named Mork. The cat did not fetch. Mork sat high up on Louise's back and was quite happy there. Soon they got Wiggy and Tuna, 2 goldfish, Hortense, Hilda, and Javier, 3 hedgehogs, a giant panda named Peanut, twin seals, a tiny armadillo named Cauliflower, and an orangutan named Agnes. They all could roll over, but none of them would play fetch. On the other hand, Oliver the octopus and Jerome the giraffe were quite good at fetch. They could fetch cookies from the top shelf, canned beans from the bottom shelf, and flowers from the neighbor's garden. Bertie, a buffalo, and Willard, a wombat, loved belly rubs. Paz, the snake, could chase its tail, and the owls, Zack, Zeke, Zora, and Zephinero, could dig holes. The toads, Robert, Ribbit, and Omar, could bark. Acorn, Pigeon, and Cheese, the raccoons, loved going on walks. Everyone found out that Madam Pickles, the donkey, was surprisingly good at howling at the moon. "This is the life," said Mr. Gargleson. "Luxury," said Ms. Biddle as a flock of ducklings hatched in her hair. Jill, Jam, Jumbo, Jaden, Jake, Jump, Jeans, and Jupiter. The Gargleson Biddles were happy. Their house definitely wasn't too quiet, and it definitely wasn't the same. But they sometimes sighed very quietly, wondering if there wasn't something still missing.
What could be missing from that?
No, they wanted something that they could rub its belly and lick their face and waggle and fetch and oh my. Just then, they heard a little scratching at their door. There, on their doorstep, was a very soft, very waggy, very lick your face, play fetch, roll over, rub its belly, and chase its tail sort of a thing. I wonder what it is. Storytime friends, what do you think it is? What do you think? It doesn't matter. We'll name him Waffles, they said. The Gargleson Biddles were now perfectly happy and quite content. All of their animals welcome home.
Storytime friends, Grandma Pat.
Yes.
Are you ready to wave a scarf?
I love scarves.
We'll hand Grandma Pat the green one, and she can wave the green scarf, and I will use the red scarf. So on your Storytime kits, I'd like you to find your scarf, or your sock, or your paper towel, or your washcloth, or anything else that you want to. Excuse me? What? Just excuse me a second. Hello? Oh, of course. Absolutely. You would like to? Sure. Storytime friends. Tiger would like to join us today. Hello, Storytime friends. Hello, Grandma Pat.
Hi, Tiger.
I'm very excited to be here. Tiger, we are delighted to have you. I haven't seen you in a couple of weeks. I'm so excited you're joining us today. So Tiger, you hang out there, and we are going to wave a scarf. And you probably already figured out, but the scarf songs that we're going to do are about funny pets. And the first one is about a horse. Not many of us have a horse for a pet. Some of us do, but not very many. And this is called My Little Horsey. Here we go. My little horsey loves running fast. She loves running through the grass. Watch her jump, watch her leap, watch her run instead of sleep. My little horsey loves running fast. She loves running through the grass. Did your horse run all over? Did it jump and leap and jump? Yeah, some horses do. All right, our second pet scarf song is about a snail. Do you remember in our second book we read today? The first pet that they got was a snail.
Do you remember his name?
I don't.
His name was Gordon.
Gordon the snail. So here we go. We're going to talk about snails. And we're going to talk first of all about their swirly shells. Ready? They have a swirly shell. They have a swirly shell. They wear their house upon their back. They have a swirly shell. Have you ever seen a snail? We have teeny tiny ones around here in our lakes, but you can find their little swirly snail, and that's where they live, and they just carry it with them wherever they go. What else do snails do? Snails glide. Here we go. They glide when they move. They glide when they move. They wear their house upon their backs. They glide when they move. Oh, that was some nice snail gliding. Do you know what else snails can do? They can climb straight up a wall. Isn't that crazy? Snails and Spider-Man, I think, are the only two things that might be able to climb straight up a wall. Should we sing about that? Here we go. They can climb up walls. They can climb up walls. They wear their house upon their back. They can climb up walls, straight up and down. Finally, let's sing again about their swirly shells. They have a swirly shell. They have a swirly shell. They wear their house upon their back. They have a swirly shell. Oh my goodness, so many swirls were happening. Hey, thanks for playing. Storytime, friends. Grandma Pat, I had such a fun day today.
It was fun.
Our books were fabulous. First of all, wasn't that a funny story of how Old MacDonald got started? The author here, Deborah Underwood, thought in her mind, I can make a story about how that started. Is that really how it happened? We don't know. But it's really neat that she could take that idea and make a story out of it. That's something that you could do with an idea too. You could make a story out of it. And then the welcome home. That house was so welcoming to all of the funny pets that came
All
to
they
them.
wanted was a pet that could waggle and fetch and lick their faces and get the belly rubbed.
I think they finally found that
And
pet.
they did.
I think they did. And then you guys were wonderful about our rhyming words with our pets. We found a lot of interesting pets at the pet store. But now, my friends, I think it's time to say goodbye.
Okay.
Would you sing with us? All right, here we go. Oh, it's time to say goodbye to all our friends. Yes, it's time to say goodbye to all our friends. Story time is done today. Now it's time to go and play. Oh, it's time to say goodbye to all our friends. Goodbye, everybody.
I'm gonna go find something to lick my face.